Hey ACA Executive Vice President Cody Burkham coming here to you on this sunny Friday morning, January 22nd. This is going to be the first in our series of our Hats on the Hill. As many of you may know, the state legislature gavelled into session on January 11th, which I believe was last Monday, to start their regular session. And they will be required to meet, Constitution requires them to meet for 60 days, and then they can extend out a number of times after that, as long as they meet that first initial 60 days. So, not sure how long this year's session is going to go. It's kind of off to a slow start, especially given all the COVID precautions and stuff that are having to take place at the Capitol. It is just making a very different year than what we would normally expect and participating at the Capitol. We're still going to the Capitol, obviously, and still attending all the legislative committees and things that need to be attended to represent you, the Arkansas cattle producer. It's just a little different. The halls are not busy, or as busy as they normally would be. The general public is still allowed to come and still allowed to participate in the legislative process. It's just a quieter overall feeling than it would be any other time. So, but we're working through that, and everything is running pretty smooth. I believe we did get word earlier this week where one member of the State House had tested positive for COVID-19. He's self-quarantining at home, and so hopefully the COVID numbers will stay down there in the House, and they can continue, and the Senate, and they can continue to conduct business as usual. But anyway, just to give you a little background on the makeup of the Arkansas legislature this year, there are 7 members that currently say that they have or have had an ACT background before they came to the state legislature. That's about average, maybe down a couple from where it normally sits. Arkansas agriculture is always very well represented in our state legislature, and we're, as the largest industry in the state, we're certainly glad to see that. But we do, even amongst those 7, we do really have some true friends of Arkansas agriculture and the Arkansas cattle industry. So we really appreciate them. The members range in age from 29 all the way to 78. So there's a good diverse age range there in the state house. Now your state senate, it's going to be closer in age range. You have a couple good young senators. Senator Gilmore, that was just elected from down southeast Arkansas. Senator Sturch from up around Batesville. Those are both younger men. Senator Garner also, as well, is in his late 30s or so. But overall, the age range in the Senate is a little closer than it is in the House. In the House, you have 24 women and 67 men representing us there. You have 16 members serving their first term. So that's a pretty large freshman class. There were quite a few retirements and incumbents that were either beat in a primary or maybe a general. But then you have 10 that are serving their 6th term. So you have 10 that have been there about 12 years, and so they are really running up pretty close to their term limits. So that you could see those kind of rolling off in the next cycle or so. Overall partisan breakdown of the Arkansas State House, you've got 78 Republicans, 22 Democrats. In the Senate, you have 27 Republicans and 7 Democrats. So you have super majorities for the Republicans in both houses. Obviously, our governor is a Republican as well, Governor Asa Hutchinson, and all constitutional offices, and then obviously all federal offices are held by the Republicans as well. So Arkansas is certainly a Republican-controlled state, and it's that's the way it's been, and probably going to be for the foreseeable future. In the committees that we've been watching really close, we obviously watched the Ag Committee really close, and this year I'm not going to say a new representative, but she is new to the committee, is actually chairing the House Ag Committee, and that's Representative Deanne Vaught from over in District 4. So as many of you know and might remember from last year, Representative Vaught has certainly been a great supporter of the agriculture industry here in Arkansas. Her and her husband own a very large operation over in western southwest Arkansas and over in Sevier County, and she knows about Arkansas agriculture. So that Ag Committee there in the House is very safe in her hands. she's working on some big legislation for us as far as state meat inspection, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But very good choice by the House Speaker for Representative Vaught for that position. And then her vice chair there is the Senate Ag Chair is Senator Caldwell from over in District 23, which is kind of northeast Arkansas, but also another great friend to the Arkansas agriculture industry. Senator Caldwell has served a number of terms on the Senate Ag Committee as well. So two really good chairmen there. Vice chairs for the House Ag is Representative Roger Lynch from District 14. District 14 is kind of here in central Arkansas, the Lone Oak County area, maybe a little parts of Grand Prairie, some different parts here in central Arkansas that are a very heavy agriculture area, so a good choice there. And vice chair in the Senate Ag is Senator Ricky Hill. And for those that might have been able to attend the 2019 ACA convention, Senator Hill actually gave a keynote address at our awards banquet, and a very great friend to Arkansas Ag there as well. Senator Hill's from District 29, which is the White County area, and so kind of a centrally located area as well, but he is a farmer as well as a banker, so a good friend to us there. There's a couple other committees that we will certainly be watching throughout this session. One being the state agencies and governmental affairs. With the census just taking place over the next year or so, we will see redistricting of both our congressional House seats, and the state and Senate districts will be reorganized as well. So that's where those will go through. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. And then also our Revenue and Taxation Committee, we'll certainly watch that, as that is an important committee for Arkansas cattle producers and Arkansas Ag as well. The chairman on the House side, Representative Joe Jett, is actually a farmer, serves on the House Ag Committee, very good friend to agriculture there as well. So far we've seen 233 bills introduced in the House and 77 bills introduced in the Senate. And, kind of thinking back to our last regular session back in 2019, like I said, it just seems to be a slower start, and which I guess it's always a slow start. We're only 2 weeks in, so we're definitely going to see that uptick in bill numbers and things being filed. But this could be a little different year in terms of total amounts of legislation filed than normal. The day after everybody was sworn in, all the legislature was sworn in, on January 12th, Governor Asa Hutchinson gave his final State of the State address. As many of you know, he will be term limited and will not be able to seek re-election. You can only serve 2 terms as a governor, and he is on his second final term. So this will be his last regular session at the Arkansas State Capitol. And he laid out some of his priorities for this legislative cycle. In which, I think there's 6 here that I've got written down that he mentioned in his address. Reducing used car sales tax, increasing teacher pay by $2,000 over the next 2 years, reducing income tax for new Arkansas residents, approving around $300 million for increased broadband in rural areas, which we certainly would support that. A computer science for high school graduation, you would have to have a computer science class to be able to graduate. And then increasing sentencing for some hate crimes bills. Now, there has been already some controversial legislation that has moved through some Senate committees. Stand Your Ground law, which the cattlemen's did not participate in or take a position on in any shape, form, or fashion. But just for your awareness, it has passed through the Senate in large margins, and will be headed over to House for its debate as well. The increasing for the Senate, the sentencings for hate crimes, that's going to be another controversial piece of legislation. We will not be engaging on it, but I know once again, just for your awareness, will be going through, and we'll have there will be some fighting there, I'm sure. Just a couple bills have passed out of committee that really affect, or that the ACA has been watching. Both of these bills, HB 1099 and HB 1142, passed out of the House Ag Committee yesterday. Those are both bills that were sponsored by Representative Deanne Vaught, who we just mentioned as the chair of the House Ag Committee. HB 1099 just authorizes the Vet Board to promulgate rules regarding telehealth and telemedicine for veterinarians. So, you know, during this COVID-19 stuff, that is certainly, and I believe going forward, not just during COVID-19, but going forward, this telehealth and telemedicine is certainly a good way to increase the ability of, especially the large animal vets, which we do have a lack of here in Arkansas, the ability for them to take care of patients and clients and not have to be standing right there chute side. So glad to see that passed. It passed with flying colors, no controversy there. And then HB 1142 was also another simple bill that really flew out of committee. And it just recognizes artificial insemination of livestock and animals as a routine animal husbandry practice. Now, some people would wonder why we would need to pass such a bill here in Arkansas, but this bill really deals more with some things that are going on outside of Arkansas that, if came to Arkansas, would just be a pain. So I think Representative Vaught is just smart to try to head that off at the pass. So just a couple bills there that we've been watching and we'll certainly support all the way through. But like I said, this is we've got a slow start, but things are starting to pick up and things are starting to happen. We've got some really good progress on our state meat inspection bill that we've been working together with Farm Bureau, Hunters Feeding the Hungry, some restaurant associations. We have a really large coalition there that has come out in support of the state meat inspection. We're excited to fight that on through both the House and the Senate for the cattle producers, the beef producers of Arkansas. We really feel like that will increase some market access that is currently cut off to our members, and hope that believe that will be a really good thing that at the end of the day will pay for itself in tax revenue and stuff to the state, and will not just be a draw on the general revenue of Arkansas, but will be a program that will self-pay. So, we're going to continue to watch that, continue to support it, continue to fight for the Arkansas cattle producers. But I encourage you, if you keep in touch with your state representative and your state senator. Let them know what you think about the bills that are going through, whether they affect the cattle industry or not. It is just imperative that the Arkansas cattle producers and just Arkansas citizens in general are engaged at the state capitol, even during this year of upheaval that we see with the COVID-19 and things like that. So that's about all we have for this week. I appreciate you tuning in. Hey, do me a favor, make sure you share this Facebook video and let people know what the Arkansas Cattle Producer or Arkansas Cattlemen's Association is doing for the producer. It is the beginning of our membership drive here in January. We've had a lot of great memberships already come in. Really looking forward to a good positive year with some new things, ranch rodeos, ranch tours, some new pen shows for the Arkansas livestock youth. But then we're also looking forward to carrying on our old events, or our time-tested events, our March meetings coming up, our convention during July. We're looking forward to all these things. We have a great feeling here that 2021 is going to be a great year, and we're going to be out there doing the best we can for the Arkansas cattle producers, making sure that we're there representing you and speaking with your voice. If we can do anything here for you at the state office, 501-224-2114 is our number. Give us a call at any time. We want to help you. Have a good day.